Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Robert's Train Set. And it only seems like a week ago or so that I put another video up on my Mayflower, which, as I hope you get from the video, I was delighted with. And I said in that everything is all coming at once, and it is. It does make a bit of a drain on the wallet, I must admit, trying to get the things you want. So you've seen the box on this sofa, and you might have thought it's quite a big box, so I'll just show you it. Now it's empty because I've got everything out of it, but it is a very big box. And what was in it is one of those. And another one of those, obviously two different named. So I'll show you the end label after I've finished waffling. And are they new logos? No, they're not. They first came out 8 years or so ago. And not having one myself, I only started doing this about 8 years ago. So they came out just as I was starting up. Matt Slade actually did two on one of these. He did the initial sort of review of it, which he liked. He really loved it, and then little bit later on, really disappointed because it was playing up. And from what he said, I think it was the capabilities of the chip in them, the DCC chip, sound chip. I did say in the last one with the Mayflower, I like to get a logo from the manufacturer with everything on. And you can definitely say with this, it's got everything on, both of them. But how have they performed? Now, I will admit, I've taken them out of the box and I've had them on my end-to-end down here. And they are not without fault, I would say. The overall packaging is slightly different, I would say, to what they were 8 years ago. But they're still a beautiful logo, I've got to say that. They really are a beautiful logo. So what the only one I've ever had with the A4 is Mallard in the Railroad, Hornby, with the TTS sound in. And I've got that on the layout to show you that as well. And to be perfectly honest, it's managed one part of running better than these two. So for about a quarter of the price at the time I bought it, yeah, it performed better than this. Now I'm hoping these will improve, but yeah, I'm not. I would say I should be delighted, but I'm not. As usual, you know. The simple things let it down, or they do on this one, so we'll see. So I'll show you a few more photos of me unboxing this out of this big box and a few other bits and pieces, and then we'll go and have a look at them on the layout down in the conservatory, and then probably at the end, if we've got time, up in the loft and see how they run. Okay, so I'll see you shortly. So with the lid open, we had this big rails our second-hand stuff, and as you can see, it's all wrapped with screwed up paper, which is better for the earth, I suppose. It was reasonably well packed, although it would move about from end to end a little bit, but it got here all safely, so it's good. And there's even paper underneath, so that was good. And inside was two of these. And there they are, and I'll show you a closer up of each. So there's the A4 in LNER, which I quite like, and the other one is the Union of South Africa, which I think the last couple of years has just been taken out of running, isn't it? So whether it'll ever be back, I don't know. And this is what it looks like when you take the lid off, foam and everything. Now I think this is slightly different from the previous in it 8 years ago. I think that's altered. And the other thing that's altered is we've now got the blister packs around them as opposed to just wrapped up in tissue. And this is what's in the box with it, the usual stuff. And there we are. And the tender, and as you can see they're both separate. And this one looks really nice. You know, it's as good as I saw on the 8-year-old ones. I suspect that other manufacturers caught up, and this looks similar to the thing. Now the seat was ripped off on Matt Slade's one because he got it out of the box wrong. But being in the blister pack, it was all right. So that's the back of the tender. And there we are on the rails. Now I can only have one of these on at a time at the moment because they're both number 3. And yes, it all looks really, really nice. I like this. And they're very heavy. Quite a nice connection between tender and loco, just to click in. And the vents do open, as you can see. And this is ready for the smoke to come out, which is already in there, apparently, from the factory. Ready? And there's the Mallard creeping behind, the Hornby Railroad one. So we get the 2 little jars of smoke, and I must say it stunk. And we still get the wheels with the rubber tyres on, and obviously the fixed bogie at the back if you want it, not me. So the first thing I wanted to know is, will it creep like the Mayflower did? And the answer to that, as you can see, is yes, it could. Very nice, and this is a really heavy loco, it really is. So it starts off well. Does it go backwards the same? It does. And yes, I was looking forward. I was thinking, oh great, magic. And to be perfectly honest, all the features on this did actually work. So let's try the sound, shall we? And I've done a couple of the functions, not all of them. There's quite a few, although not as many as in some loco. So these 2 I found quite strange, but the next one is what you expect. It sounds great. So I did the injectors and the safety valves, and then it was time to see if the smoke worked. So let's have a look at that, shall we? And yes, it did, as you see, and it was very good. It was synchronised with the chuffs, and I was quite pleased with the amount of volume of smoke that came out. Now this is oil based, not water based. But yeah, I was happy. Whether I'm going to be using it a lot, maybe not, because it covers the track. So I think I'll give it a run into the one of the stations, and as you can see the lamps are working, flashing because of obviously the camera rates, and they are very fine. I mean, it's too light in here to see them normally, and I thought I'd just show the old valve gear because this hasn't got any of the old skirts on it, has it? A lot of them. So it did go into the station, but not without problems, which I haven't shown. And I'll show you the next loco with sort of similar problems. But I was surprised that it did actually do what it did without the front bogie wheels actually revolving properly. So yeah. Very strange. So let's bring out the LNER loco, shall we? So let's get on to my second loco, and a stunning looking loco in the LNER livery, and it seemed absolutely as good as my last one, the Union of South Africa, and everything worked. As you can see, the slow running is absolutely superb, forwards and backwards. And if only these had run as well on the track as they did with all their functions, I would have been a happy bunny. But that in fact wasn't the case. So, a few of the sounds as you can hear. So I do find some of these a bit strange, but it was time to set it off and see if the smoke worked in this one. So let's have a look. And yes, like the Union of South Africa, this worked lovely again. Plenty of smoke, blowing in the front because there was a breeze coming in from outside. But yeah, I was happy with this. So let's follow her through the bridge and see if we can get her into the platform where you saw the Union of South Africa depart from a few moments ago. So these are all standard Hornby points, so nothing special, and I think it may give these big locos problems. So like its sister engine, this is where the problem started. Basically the front pony track derails, and as you can see it takes a diversion. So let's go and have a look, and you can see the whole thing has derailed. It's a real shame. So let's try up into where the unloading shed is. We should make this. And on this particular model, the wheels on the front pony track do actually revolve okay, which is helpful. Yes, she did actually make it, which I was surprised about. But she doesn't do it every time, just like the Union of South Africa. So, I think further investigation was required. And obviously one of the things I would like to do is to get the wheels going on the pony track of the Union of South Africa. So let's do the same exercise with the Hornby Railroad Mallard at a quarter of the price, or it was when I bought it. And yeah, you know, it's a TTS decoder, sounds great, I reckon, usable. And it did it, no problem whatsoever. Now this loco hasn't always been without problems, it has had problems in the past. But running well here, so let's now take it into the station and we'll see how she performs there. Change the point manually, and let's see how we get on with this. Well, as you can see, no problem whatsoever. So more investigation required. Let's see if I can improve these very nice but expensive locos if they do not work properly, I would say. And more on this when we get them up onto the loft layout. So here we are with the woodcock upside down in my ESU cradle to see if we can sort out the problems. Now, yeah, I mean it works quite well.
it does seem to be just a problem with the front pony track. All these work, and although I need this on mine, you can fit one that is more fixed and revolves. But I will leave this on because it would give problems. So I've played with the tracking of the wheels, the spacing, which does seem to help. I've also oiled them very well so that they slide about. With the Union of South Africa, I found that because I'd had to close up the wheels to get them to work, they were hitting. So I actually took two of the wheels off on one side and filed off a bit of the metal to give them more space. And as you saw, they work, which is pleasing. So we'll have to see how it runs upstairs. Now it's a little bit of give and take, I think. I'm hoping it will run reasonably on the main tracks, and we'll see what happens when I try and take it into the engine shed or around some of the tighter points, which most of mine are to be there. So I haven't actually done it yet, so we'll see what happens when we get up there, shall we? So yes, I finally got them up in the loft, and I've got to say I'm not at all happy, really. So this is the LNER loco, and I'm just filming it going very, very slowly at 10 miles an hour into the old computer over these points, which it did all right, but all through you can hear clicks where it's sort of not connecting with the point or whatever. So would it get up onto that outside track? So I followed it along, and as you can hear, the front bogie just uncouples and falls off the track here. They're not very, very good, I've got to say that. And as you can see, Woodcock failed and the Union of South Africa failed. So here we are showing Woodcock running okay. It actually did manage to run around this inner track with not too much trouble, although you can hear it going over the points, definitely. Both of these locos had different characteristics. Some would derail on this point and the other one wouldn't, and so forth and so on. And I really played around with the tracking to try and get these to work better. And to be honest, I couldn't. I got them running okay, to the extent that I thought, you know, I'll keep them. But I was considering sending both of them back. I would say if you've got track like mine, and my track might be at fault as well, think twice about buying them, I think. I suspect my Mallard cheap one will work better than this. So all I've done to these is I've changed their numbers so that they've got individual numbers and can run together on the layout. And the number 3 and number 4 I changed on both of them to 5, ready for doing the I trains initiation really. But yeah. So having already tried to get the Union South Africa into these sidings, and remember reversing, not even going forwards, I tried the same with Woodcock, and I wanted to get it into the engine shed, the furthest track over, so fairly straight, not a lot of curving, and again at 10 miles an hour. I dared do them any faster than this. When they're hurtling around at 70 miles an hour, they are quite frightening, and when they derail, you sort of, I know it's weird, but you sort of feel the weight of them coming off, you know. I'd hate to have these derail with a full train behind them. God knows what would happen. So neither of these really got up there without problems. And I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to limit their speed in I trains and only use them on probably the main circuits. I mean, I've not tried them on every circuit yet, so going to be more problems there. We'll have to see. So having got them into the sidings here, took a picture, nice with the lights on. I'll go to the sofa and we'll have a little chat on it, shall we?
Well, I thought I'd come out in the garden. I'm quite pleased in having done the hedges, which I found really hard to do, even though I had a bit of help. Age takes its toll, one might say. But anyway, so you've seen what I've done with these, and we've got the we've got that one, and we've got that one, and they're both up on the loft, in the loft. And I think overall I am disappointed. They are an absolutely beautiful model. You know, all the fine detail and everything on them is absolutely superb. I like the lights, the sound is good. If only they ran really well. I actually thought the weight of the loco would help it run, but I'm beginning to think that it doesn't help them run. With these type of locos, the bogies at the front, the pony track and that, are problems. They're light. Even though it's metal, it's light, and it can just bounce off, and that's what I think happens. Now, I've really tried the tracking. I know we're supposed to do it at 14.2, but I have tried to set it at that, but I found on some of these it was better to have it a bit tighter or a bit open. There's no rhyme or reason. Now, you know, I put my hands up. My track is not the greatest. It's basically Hornby track that's just been screwed down on a board, and yeah, and I've clicked it up here and I clicked it up there to stop other locos falling off. So it's a bit of a battle to keep everything running. But most of the stuff that I've had up there, including the Flirt and the 395, and obviously the Mayflower, they all ran okay, didn't they? You know, we didn't have them all falling off every 5 minutes. So I really did seriously think of putting these back in their box and sending them back, because after all, I bought them mail order, I can. But I am going to keep them. I am going to limit them on the speed that they can do on I-trains, and luckily with my small layout they can never really get up to a high speed. Anything over 60 miles an hour seems to be a bit of a problem for them on just those points, but different on every point. So yeah, and you'd run it round once and it would go over fine, and you leave it running another one and it would go over, and then the next one, boom. And when they come off, they come off. Anyway, so what do I really think about these? I'm still happy to have them. If I'd have known then what I know now about them, I perhaps maybe not have ordered them. The decoder problems from the old one seems to have been eradicated. They do seem to work fine. So decoders have got a lot more advanced, haven't they? So I think Matt Slade's problems are a thing of the past. Matt Slade, obviously, his ran all right because he's got a big layout with big curves. If you've got a big layout with big curves on it, I think you're okay, and probably even express type points. As you saw, it did go over the crossover there, though equally they both had trouble on the curve point at the other end, where we crossed from the middle track into the inside track. So yeah, not great. It's not the great experience I was hoping it would be. But yes, I'm going to keep them. So I'm, you know, where I am. So in the next video, hopefully my class 50 for Mercura scale will run a lot better. Let's hope so. We'll see, won't we? Cheers, everybody. Anyway, thank you for running. I do thank all the new subscribers that have come on. I mean, I've not been getting many views, but I've been getting a few more subscribers. So thank you very much if you've just joined. And we'll keep going, see how we get on. Cheers.